Right. Let's get started. So, 20 days away. Can you guys believe it? It's just around the corner. So, I hope everybody's prepared. We are certainly trying to get everything ready for the show. So, in preparation for the next less than 3 weeks, T minus 20 days. I want to go over some of the things happening, updates, just make sure everybody's on the same page so that we know what to expect. I'm not going to get into too much of the move in, move out details, things happening with our show contractor, more about what to expect for the 3 days of the show. Help you prepare, whether you're a brand, a buyer, a member of the press. I want to make sure that everybody's coming prepared to maximize the value at the show. So with that, I have an agenda to make sure that everybody's time is well spent. Let's see here. I want to go over the show schedule, the events, and the majority of this we'll cover really, really quickly. So speakers, launch event, new product pavilion, cocktail party, and awards. And that's a little different this year than we've done in years past, and then the happy hour. So again, I want to give everybody just a real quick overview of that, and then I'll get into the show floor map so we know kind of where things are going to be held. Of course, we're going to have an info desk and a lot of people there to help guide. And then I want to get into an update on the buyer brand connect event, that meeting scheduler. The board and I, and a lot of feedback from a lot of you have given us some ideas, suggestions, and there's an update that I want to give that's hopefully going to help bring more value and opportunities to schedule meetings between now and the show. That's really what we want you to do, is to have as many meetings, events, things that you can just really walk away from the show and finding value at what we're doing with the TGA show. So, and then we're going to talk about some of the awards and the giveaways. So that's what we're going to cover. I think we can do it fairly quickly. After we go through the show schedule and events, I'll pause for questions. This will be interactive. Kat and Jody are online from the TGA to answer any questions in the chat. So if you do have anything as we're going, they'll stop me. I don't see the chat, so Kat, Jody, if you can pause and let me know those questions in real time, that would be great. So with that, did my screen just go away? Yep. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, is it back? Okay, so let's try that again. If it disappears, my apologies. So with that, this is the show schedule. Similar to last year, we had a number of keynotes, workshops, panel discussions, and we trimmed that down quite a bit. We wanted to make sure that we're still bringing that value with information, things that are very relevant to the industry, whether you're a brand, a buyer, a creator, press. We're really extending that information that we're sharing across all 3 days, across all 3 stages, but it's trimmed down and it's more focused on the topics that we've been hearing a lot of feedback, but ultimately giving more time for people to spend on the show floor. So again, we want people to connect on the show floor. We want the attendees to visit the booths and really create value for everybody in attendance there. This is, I would say, as important, however, secondary to those connections that you're making at the booth on the show floor. So with that, day one, at 8 a.m., starting 8 a.m. and going until 10 a.m., the show floor is closed. We've never done this before, where we have an event before the show so that buyers, creators, and press have a time to view new products that are being launched. We have 15 in the lineup, and this is a great way for these brands to really showcase what they're launching in this selected time frame between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. to showcase in front of press, buyers, and other travel industry professionals. I will say, brands, if you're exhibiting or non-exhibiting brands, they cannot attend this. This is only for non-exhibiting brands. Again, some companies are very, very particular about some of the new products that are being launched, and they don't want to do that in front of other brands. So we've closed this off to only allow for buyers, press, and other creators to attend, travel industry professionals. During that time, however, in the TGA reception area, we are hosting a breakfast. It's not just the cookies and coffee like we've done in years past. However, that will still be there. We're adding bagels and other pastries and fruit, and it's hopefully a better breakfast experience than we've had in the past. Not to say it was bad in the past, but we're just elevating a little more. So please come prepared, come hungry, and hopefully get the nourishment that you need to really last throughout the day for that. And that's going to be in the TGA reception area just outside of the new product pavilion. We want the first 2 hours of the show completely closed off to any events outside of the new product pavilion. We want everybody to hit the show floor, connect with those brands, walk around and kind of familiarize yourself with what's happening. So we deliberately pushed any keynotes, any presentations until 1 o'clock, starting off with the state of the travel industry. This will be presented by Beth Goldstein from Circana. So she and the Travel Goods Association, Circana and the Travel Goods Association are pairing so that we can have real-time data to present to the industry on a monthly basis. More details will be coming about that, but this is a great way to start the show. And then we're bringing additional programming after that. And I'll get into that a little more. Day two, let's see here. Day two, again, before the show opens, this is for everybody in the industry, not just buyers, not just creators and press. This is for exhibiting companies as well. We're doing this at 8 a.m. before the show floor opens because it's a topic that's relevant to our industry about PFAS, about tariffs, taxes, and trade. We are bringing in Nate Herman, who is a member of the American Footwear and Apparel Association, a partner association with the TGA, who is working on behalf of the TGA and with the TGA with government compliance and regulations. So he and Connor O'Brien, not Conan O'Brien, I get those two mixed up, but it's Connor O'Brien, will be coming to present that keynote before the show floor opens. So please come. This is relevant whether you're a brand, a buyer, a travel industry professional. This is impacting our industry in a major way. And we deliberately position this before the show floor opens. And then we have other events happening throughout the day. And then I just want to point out there are 3 happy hour events between 3 and 5 p.m. Again, the show floor is open, a lot of networking opportunities, but we did not put programming during that time. 3 happy hour events will be happening. One will be hosted at the Black Diamond stage over by those booths in the Black Diamond area. I think Tom Nebling, you've got a booth over in that area too. So that will be our happy hour event in that area. And then we have one hosted at the Pelican booth and then one at the Eagle Creek booth. So those are our sponsored happy hour events happening between 3 to 5 p.m. on day 2. Let me go back if I can go back on day 1. Day 1, I also want to make mention of the TGA opening night cocktail party and the awards. This is at 5:30. We're doing the cocktail party and the award ceremony kind of together. This is a time for the industry to really celebrate our accomplishments. And we want to mention the recipients of 5 particular awards happening on that night. We have, I think, 17 awards total. Day 1, during this time, those companies that win one of the I believe, 11 awards or 12 awards will be notified during the day, and a member of the TGA will be walking around presenting those awards to those companies. However, that night will be for the best of categories during the cocktail party. So the best of 2025, new product of the year award, sustainability, and a few others that we'll go over. And that will be happening throughout the cocktail party and presented in front of the industry as a whole. All right. Day 3 is a short day. We don't have any programming before the show floor opens. We do have our coffee and connections. This is where the cookies and the coffee that we all have come to know and love happen. That's happening on day 2 and 3. and we are continuing that tradition here as well. We've put some really big keynotes on the last day. We have keynotes from travel industry professionals like Chris Burkard. We have the Bucket List family coming. We have Deanne Fitzmaurice, who is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and travel ambassador for Nikon. A lot of them that will be sharing their experiences about travel and helping the industry really stay on trend with what's happening in the industry. And then we have another award/trip presentation that's happening right before the close of the show. We are giving away trips. We announced one trip that's worth about a $10,000 giveaway. We have a couple more that have been gifted that we're presenting as well to the industry for all attendees, whether you're a brand, a buyer, press, whomever. And I'll get into that here in just a moment. So that's what the 3 days look like. Now, keep in mind as you attend the show that it's open and should be attended by as many people as you can afford to bring to the show. We know that it's a time for brands and buyers to connect with the salespeople to really collaborate, create business opportunities, and further your business that way. And that's what we're still doing and still focusing on. However, I also want to present another opportunity beyond just sales connections. With the people that we're bringing to the show, these are travel industry professionals that can help with what's happening, what's trending, ways of marketing in different ways using social media and content creators. And these are vetted professionals that we really believe your marketing team can find value in. Your design team may find new government regulatory issues with what's happening in the industry, as well as your PR team to further your market reach with what's happening at the show and who's in attendance. So as you come and prepare for the show, think of how you can really leverage the value that we're bringing to the show this year. With that programming, we have some really amazing topics. PFAS. If you're not familiar with PFAS, you need to be. It's impacting our industry in a really, really major way. Whether you're a brand that's creating product that's impacted by the regulations that are happening with PFAS, or you're a buyer who's selling products that may have PFAS chemicals in it. That's happening again on day 2, and we have an expert coming to talk about PFAS. We also have the most relevant topics and information happening with tariffs, taxes, and trade happening as well. And then this is the other ones. I'm not going to go and read every single one of them, but these are topics that if you are a brand and you're creating brand deals and content that's being marketed online, are we staying compliant with the FCC rules, regulations, and guidelines? And we have Josh Yao, who's kind of in the top left corner upside down. He is an expert in this industry with what FCC requirements and branded content looks like, and he's coming to present information on that. We don't want to have anybody in the industry get caught off guard because of FCC compliance issues and how to label things and the regulatory requirements. So please understand that this is information that is relevant, that is really important for you as a brand buyer retailer to come and understand and learn from. Now, with that, product launch event. This is happening on day 1. This is a new thing that the TGA is offering and has been promoting. It's hosted by Samantha Brown, a travel industry professional, and these are the 15 companies that have 5 minutes. It's kind of like if you're presenting and you go over that 5 minutes, the music starts to come on. It's going to be like that. They have 5 minutes, and they are to talk about their product or products, what they want the buyers to know about and the press to know about. And it's happening on day 1, March 25th, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. These are the brands. And again, it is not open to non-exhibiting companies. Gosh, why is my computer continuing to do that? Let's try this again. The new product pavilion is just outside of the entrance, just inside the entrance. So it's between the entrance and the main stage where the launch event's happening, and I'll go over that. We had originally 60 products debuting. That has that has increased to 80 products, and we still get submissions 2 or 3 a week because this is going to be the launch event of the industry. You're going to want to come if you have a new product. Please submit it. We want to highlight it because we have, I think, registered now, we have between 30 to 60 press in attendance. I don't know the exact number. It's changing every day. It could be on the higher end into the 80s to 90s. I don't know. A lot of content creators who have already registered. So if you want to get your new product front and center, this is the place to do it. Cocktail party. Again, like I said, it's going to be partnered with the TGA Awards. This is the end of day 1, beginning at 5:30 at the main stage and the event area just next to the main stage. The awards that we are giving during the cocktail party are, here are just a few of them. I think there's 1 or 2 more that I failed to add on here. Best Luggage, 2025 TGA Best Luggage, Best Travel Bag, the Sustainability Product of the Year, New Product of the Year, and Travel Product or Products of the Year. This is not including all of the other awards for the categories that will be handed out during day 1 before this cocktail party. Happy hour. I've mentioned happy hour. Again, this is day 2. So please be prepared for that. Now, kind of the lay of the land. I'm going to pause after I get through the floor plan and this section. So if there are any questions, I know that I've gone through it really, really quickly. So I'm going to pause and I'll discuss anything up to this point for questions. So this is Las Vegas Convention Center, North Hall. We have Hall 2, 3, and 4. 4 is on the very left side, Hall 3 is in the center, and Hall 2 is on the right-hand side. The food court is where Starbucks is and Lucky's is, and that's at the entrance of Hall 1 and 2. So that's what the lay of the land looks like as far as the lobby goes, the food court, and the entrance goes. There is one main entrance, and that is between Halls 3 and 4. This is the main entrance that's going to get you access directly to the launch event and anything else happening at the show or the main stage before the show opens. You will not be able, there will be security and stanchions blocking off the aisles. So during that launch event and what's happening on day 1, you will not be able to get on the show floor unless you're an exhibiting company. They can get on there, but buyers, unless they have a special request, cannot get on there. They can go to the breakfast at the TGA reception area, and I'll show where that is later, and the show stage. There is a supplier entrance. This is the only entrance and access point for suppliers. So if there is a supplier coming to the show, they cannot access the show floor through the main entrance. They will accessing it through their own separate entrance, and where the 2 lines are there, at the end of the supplier area is another security person that will not allow suppliers onto the show floor. So this is kind of a secluded supplier-only area that is only accessible through that one entrance if you're a supplier, or on the show floor if you're wanting to attend that, you can access it through those little 2 red lines next to that supplier area. Supplier entrance. New product pavilion is just through the main entrance. This is where the 80+ products are. You're not going to want to miss it. It's awesome. The design looks amazing. So congratulations, Jody, on that. She's been working extra hours to make sure that that's a really, really elevated experience for everybody who goes through that. This is the TGA reception area and info desk. So this is where the breakfasts will be held. This is where you will get your vouchers for the trip giveaways, and I'll explain that here shortly. This is where it's kind of a connection point for all things TGA, and a lounge area, a place to sit and just relax. The new product launch event, like I said, will be at the main show stage. You will be guided to go to that main show stage through the main entrance. You will have security and other personnel helping to guide and direct us there. And again, unless you have a special permission or an escort from an exhibiting brand, You will not be allowed on the show floor if you're a non-exhibiting or if you're an exhibiting, unless you're an exhibiting brand. Okay. Press room and lounge. Um, if you are a brand, please print off a press release and bring it to the show. We have a number of press coming. You will be allowed to put your press releases on the table in this press room, and please be prepared. Bring 30 to 50 copies, maybe even more, so that they can get a press release and in real time or within the next few weeks after the show, they can really highlight your product with what and who to contact about your products. Opening night cocktail, it's going to be on the show stage and in the event area in the back there. And this is again open to everybody in the industry. We will have security blocking off the show floor, so brands, buyers will not have access to the show floor except for the designated exit points. This is a new area that we're still working to flush out. This is where the creator space is. We're calling it the Creator Summit, and where travel verticals are coming. This is information that we're going to talk about more at the show right before the cocktail party. There's some announcements I'm going to be making. We are inviting select travel verticals, destinations, tourism boards, um, people in the travel space who are supplying trips, agencies, because they want to be in this industry. They want to sell products. They want to connect with brands, and they want to help promote what the TGA is doing with creators and press and other areas. So it was a kind of a natural fit. And this is the first inaugural event that we're doing with travel verticals. And we hope to expand this to have more verticals there in the future. Additionally, some of these travel verticals are offering trip giveaways. So it's really, really cool. We're glad to partner with them, and it's going to bring, I think, tremendous value not only this year, but future years for the TGA. These are the three show stages, the main one in the back, the Black Diamond stage on the left-hand side in the Black Diamond area, and then the Creator stage in the Creator Summit area. And then these are where the happy hours are going to be. We have one on the Black Diamond stage area, one at the Eagle Creek booth, and then one at the Pelican booth. So you can spread yourself around, and I think the happy hour at the Black Diamond will be wine. I believe at Pelican it's going to be domestic beer, and then at Eagle Creek I think it's going to be mixed cocktails. So that's kind of how that's separated. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. So if you have questions, please unmute yourself, or if you want to type them into the chat. Kat, Jody, if you can relay those questions.
We do have a couple questions that came in. One of them is, where do we go to register new products for the new product pavilion?
That's great. Great question. You can email TGA at travelgoods.org or hello@travelgoods.org. You can reach out at info@travelgoods.org and inquire that way. Kat, I believe there was also a form that was sent out. We might want to, after this call, send out another form that allows people to register for that. So those, just contact us via email, and then Kat, if you can also send a follow-up, that'd be great.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll send a follow-up about that. And then we have another question regarding the hotel blocks. So we do have hotel blocks. They're on our website. I dropped the link into the chat, and you can go and click there. And if you go directly through the link, then you will get the discount automatically applied.
Yeah, I think one of the hotel blocks, the discount ended, I want to say March 1st. So there are designated times where they keep it for the TGA, and if we don't reserve them within that time, they actually release those blocks for the general public, and we don't get that discount. So I know that information had been sent out over the past 3 months, and that time block it's critical that we book within that time. Otherwise, the hotels will just release it so that they can generate the income that they're needing to. So if you don't get that discount, that's why is that time block had expired. Great question. What else? Any other, Kat?
Yes, so we have another question. Who is voting on the product award winners?
Yeah, so the terms and conditions are all in there. So it talks about popular vote and how that's weighted. It's also industry professionals that have been selected to judge by the TGA. And then that's been weighted. And then there are a selection of TGA board members and other travel and industry professionals that are weighted as well. So some of the categories are weighted that way. The People's Choice Award is obviously weighted by the People's Choice, and that's by a popular vote, both at the show and on the online submission portal. All of those terms and conditions and instructions on who's doing that has been outlined there.
All right, we have a few more as well. David asked, what is the parking situation at the convention center?
Yeah, parking. So if you haven't been to the Las Vegas Convention Center over the past 2 years, it's completely under construction. The North Hall has just finished. Um, so the silver lot, which is directly south of the North Hall, will be open. It's limited, but I think there's ample amounts of parking. I want to say, Kat, we can find out, but I want to say between 200 to 300 parking stalls. Because it is a government facility, they cannot comp us free parking. It's $15 a day. So you can park there. It is under construction, so you'll see a path with construction walls leading into the North Hall. And everything else is blocked. I think in the central hall, you'll see it all under construction. It will be finished, I think, by the end of this year. It's like a $2 billion renovation. It's pretty massive, but it looks beautiful and it mimics what's happening in West Hall. So it's going to be a beautiful, just modern, up-to-date structure with carpet that doesn't stink. It's it looks really nice.
All right, we have two questions about badges. So one, what is the formula that determines how many badges are included for an exhibitor? And then where do we go to get badges registered? Oh, and then one more that came in as well. When will we receive the QR codes for the badges?
Yeah, so great. So badges are determined by the total square footage of your booth. So, and that caps out at 600 square feet, and then it's you have to pay for badges. So a 10 by 10 you get two badges, a 10 by 20 you get four badges, and then anything bigger than that, up to 10 badges is all. That's the cap. If you need more, want more, I think it's like $200 or 250 per badge. That's how that's determined. It's based on per square footage. So if you have a 10 by 10 and you want 15 people to come, it just isn't going to happen. What we're trying to do by this is we want people in your booth who are making connections from those in attendance, walking the show floor. However, if you have a marketing personnel that you want to attend some of these sessions, that could justify an additional badge that we might be able to figure out. So in those cases, let us know if they are going to be participating in sessions. We can provide a limited access badge that will allow them to go to perhaps sessions, but not the show floor. So the reason for this is has been, I think, a industry-wide problem for a number of years where companies will grab hundreds of badges, not hundreds, dozens of badges, and have people walk the show floor and taking pictures and doing things that the show isn't intended for. We want people to come, make connections, sell products, and walk away with value. So that's the purpose of what we're doing and why the limitation and how the board has outlined who gets badges and how. And there was one more question on that one, Kat.
Yep, so somebody asked about the QR codes for the badges. So maybe we can touch a little bit
Yeah.
about pickup.
So every person who registers is being vetted. So we get people who are registering as buyers so they can access the show floor in different times. But when in fact they're not buyers, they're non-exhibiting brands trying to enter the show floor. That's not allowed. So for those people, we deny access and we reroute them to register as a non-exhibiting company. We are doing our best to get verification. If they try to do it through a personal email, they need to send verification that they are in fact a buyer with their retail location and other necessary documents to ensure that they are in fact who they say they are. If They are a brand exhibiting. You should have received that already through your registration process. If you haven't, please reach out at info@travel-goods.org. Judy, who is off today, she's got a day off and prep for the show. We all need one of those. So she should be able to help you out with that. Um, the goal here is not to have a show with 5,000 people. The goal here is to have a show that's bringing value to all of those in attendance, mainly bringing buyers there to connect with brands. And if there is a distraction or people trying to circumvent that process, we're going to vet them. And we want to make sure that the people who are paying to exhibit are getting the value from those who are attending the show. If you're a non-exhibiting brand wanting to make those connections during the show floor, it's going to cost $500. For non-TGA members, for TGA members, it's $250. And that access is only available on one day between 3 p.m. and show close. So if they want to come check out the show floor and see if it's something that they want to attend in the future, come. We want you there. But your access is going to be limited because the value is for those who are paying to exhibit and those brand buyers who are coming to meet with those brands who are exhibiting. So that's the value. That's what we're doing. And if you get denied, I apologize if you get denied and you feel like you are justified or should be there, or just reach out to me. But I need to stay within the parameters that are outlined within our policy and with what the board has agreed upon. And I know everybody has been in this industry for 30, 40, 50 years, and things are changing. And this is one of those things that we have to make sure that, again, we're just providing all that value that those who are paying for are getting. So anyways, Kat, what other questions?
Will there be a registration or info desk at the show?
Yes, there is a registration desk. We have 10 counters. Six of them are going to be for those who registered. You should walk up, scan your QR code, put in your name, and within 30 seconds with your ID, get your badge. If you don't pre-register and you want to walk in, we have 4 ticket counters for that. That's in the lobby. So you can do that. However, if you're a non-exhibiting brand who flew to Las Vegas in hopes of getting onto the show floor, the same rules apply. You have one day, it's going to cost, and you have limited access. So if you're press, same thing. You'll need to bring credentials unless in order to get on the show floor. The info desk for the TGA, we will have one in the lobby, and we will have one inside the show floor. Each of them serve different purposes, and yes, we'll have info desks in both areas.
As well as a desk for T3 in case you have questions about your booth and
Yep.
electrical and other things like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Also one more comment. Somebody said this penalizes exhibitors with larger booths that exceed 600 square feet. How will you adjust this going forward for the 2026 show?
Yeah, so those companies that have booths that are bigger than the 600 feet, I think we've accommodated most of them up to 10 badges. That is the max is 10 badges. Um, from most companies that I've talked to, 10 badges, I mean, that brings, I think, 6 sales reps, and then 2 marketing people, and then enough for like the CEO and other people to come as well. That's what we found with our surveys and data. However, if there is a need for more, contact us. If 8 sales reps or 6 sales reps isn't enough for a booth that requires 10 badges, we need to know why. If they are people coming in to as designers or marketing, we might be able to provide special badges that don't allow them on the exhibit on the show floor, but allow them to see the things on the stages that might be pertinent to what they want to attend for. We don't want to penalize anybody, but again, we want to be overly cautious and protect the IP that's happening. Um, companies, I've heard this, we've knocked on a lot of doors to really ensure that the companies that are concerned about their IP being visible, we want to make sure they're protected. We've increased security, so there are security people around like specific areas of the show. Um, it's not to penalize anybody. It really isn't. So if it's a justifiable use case to have additional people, just contact us and let's talk through it. And as long as it's within the parameters that I have and the board's policies, then we can do that. Okay, anything else, Kat?
That's everything in the comments so far.
Great. Any other live questions that need to be discussed before I move on? Okay. Feel free to unmute. If there are no questions, I will move on. All right, the Brand Buyer Connect Scheduler. This was presented last month by Judy, and we've got a lot of feedback. People want to use this. However, uh, there's a cost associated to it, and the buyers want the meetings, and they're not getting the incentive if they're pursuing and scheduling the meeting. And the brands are hesitant to schedule too many meetings because that cost adds up. So, with a lot of discussion and conversation and ultimately approval by the board, this is what we're doing. We're eliminating the fee. Schedule meetings. That's where the value lies. It's not in getting buyers there because they want to get $200 for these meetings. Schedule meetings. So if you're a brand and you wanted to use this meeting scheduler, but you didn't want to do that because of the financial implication per meeting that was accepted, don't worry about that anymore. Now, for those brands that have already approved meetings and those buyers who have already approved those meetings with the buyers, we have you covered. We've already communicated to you. If you are in this bucket, we've already communicated to you that we are taking care of that. We're still going to honor it. We're not going to go back on that, and you will receive that incentive for those buyers who were incentivized by accepting those meetings. So there is no risk, there is no financial implication, but on the adverse side, if you're a buyer looking for that $200, our data has shown that it isn't being utilized very well. So we're going to get rid of it, and we will incentivize you by these vouchers for free trip giveaways and other things, drawings that perhaps might be of value as well. So I want to pause there for a second and answer any questions because this is a big change. We've talked about it, we've promoted it over the past 5 months, and now we're saying, okay, no restrictions. So I want to pause there and make sure that everybody's clear on this update.
We had one question come in. Where do we go to request meetings as a brand?
Yeah, so when you register, there's a registration portal. Again, if you need access to that, contact Judy at travel-goods.org. She is off today, so be patient. But you should have access there directly. If not, Kat, what we might want to do is post last month's webinar that gives all information about how to access that. She went over kind of a end-to-end way of doing that and how to schedule meetings in that previous webinar. So that's probably the first way of communicating and directing people to. And then, of course, if that doesn't work, contact Judy. She's awesome. She'll help out. Great. Other questions?
I'll drop the link to the event portal in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kat. Okay. Now, the dream giveaway was tied to that Brand Buyer Connect event. We are no longer tying that together. We want to give a dream giveaway to a buyer or a retailer in attendance. There's still some terms and conditions that apply. There's only one entry voucher per retailer or buyer, and they are going to be given out on day 1 and 2 until noon. So you can go to the TGA desk, grab your voucher. Of course, a TGA staff member will verify who you are and make a note that you received your voucher. So that's how we're gonna be able to track that. The winner will be selected on day 3 during our major announcements and award giveaways on day 3. You do have to be present. So if we draw your name and it says, Jane Smith isn't here, then you might miss out on an opportunity for an awesome trip. So we do want you there, and that's going to be a big day with a lot of really, really cool things happening. So Dream Kit Trip, um, it's kind of like a gift card where you can use it anywhere at any time for this certain amount of money. And you'll be booking it with one of our partners that we're going to be introducing at the show for this trip giveaway. Additionally, we are going to be giving away other things to not only buyers and retailers, but to brands, to press, to creators, travel industry professionals. We have another really, really cool trip, specifically to Hawaii, partnering with Holo Holo Charters, which is in Kauai. And they have this really cool package that they are giving, and the TGA is partnering with them for this awesome trip giveaway. So you'll get more information on what that looks like and how to apply for that. I don't know what's going on here. My computer is acting funny. Okay. Destination packages. We also have destinations that are offering excursions. That would be a giveaway as well. No flight, no other things, but that destination is offering that. Same thing with exclusive resorts, camera packages, autographed books by some well-known people, Pulitzer Prize winners, and other award-winning journalists, as well as other really, really amazing prizes. So that's it in a nutshell. We want you to really find value at the show. Our number one priority is to have you walk away from the TGA show and say, you know what, tremendous value. I can't wait to go back. The value we know is connecting brands and buyers, selling products, and having that really be an integral part of your experience at the TGA. New collaborative opportunities, new retailers that you're working with, and finding new products. That's number one. Number two would be the information, right? We are bringing amazing people that are experts in these fields to provide information that costs a lot of money to talk and consult with on one-on-one. They're coming to the show, leverage that. They are a free resource to you to leverage and really pick their brain on how they can help your business in our industry. That's really what this is about. And then I think the third thing that I think would be an added value is what you see on your screen. Walk away with some cool prizes, right? You're coming, you're spending time, you're investing time away from your life, your family, your everything. We want to make sure that you're just getting value in every way that we can provide. So with that, that is what's happening for the 3 days in well, in about 20 days from now. So with that, this is our last webinar before then. So if you have questions, if you do have concerns, bring them up publicly. We don't have all the answers. We're trying to really leverage the information that we've had in the past and what's happening in our industry and what's trending and bringing it all together. And it's a process that is going through iterations and evolving. And I hope that this year brings you the value that you're looking for. So with that, I will pause and answer any questions.
There's one question about Brand Buyer Connect. So somebody said we are a new brand launching at Travel Goods with the discontinuation of the fee now, will you be able to, or will you have a pre-registration list we can purchase to be able to communicate looking for buyers to stop by our booth?
Yeah, that's a great question. That pre-registration list is only available for Diamond tier sponsors. So if you are a TGA member and you are a Diamond TGA member, yes, you get that list, and that list has been sent and updated every few weeks. However, if you're a TGA member, that's a TGA member or a gold member or platinum, that list doesn't come to you. It's only for those Diamond members. However, the Brand Buyer Connect event doesn't give you their direct email address. However, the emails that you do send to them communicate in platform as well as send them a notification directly to their email address and vice versa. So if they respond to the email that they receive out of platform, it will go directly to your email as well. So that's how we're doing it. It's giving you the list and access to those buyers who accepted in the portal when they registered that they want to participate. Does that answer the question? I want to make sure it's clear. You cannot buy the list unless you are a register as a Diamond TGA membership.
All right, one more question came in. Will your TGA Instagram have info for the show during the show? For example, event reminders, shuttles, schedules, etc. And did your Instagram as your Instagram did during the 2024 show?
Um, we don't know. We will do our best. We are trying to get that all planned so it's automatic on a timer. We do not have shuttle service. So this is at the Las Vegas Convention Center. The loop, I think, will be running, but you also have access to the monorail. But we do not have shuttle service because it's really close to the strip and other ways of using public transportation. So as far as communication goes, we do have that planned. We don't have all the details worked out yet. Great question. Thank you.
That's everything in the comments so far.
Great.
Um,
Okay.
we actually do have one more question. For any brands that are donating some products for media, how do they get those to us?
So brands that are donating products, the only products that are being donated are for the press bag and the creator bag. Those products, for the most part, they have been communicated to those brands. If there is somebody that has been discussing this opportunity but hasn't verified it, contact me directly, Josh at travel-goods.org. And then let's make sure that you have complete all the information you need so that we can promote what you're getting and those bags are being packed with what has been promised. So please contact me directly after this call. Great questions. Anything else? We just have a few minutes. This is we're hearing a couple things. There's still some reluctancy on whether or not the TGA is relevant and adding value to companies, and companies are still unsure. Totally, I get that. It's understandable. We want to make sure that we're listening if there are concerns, that we are providing options and solutions to those concerns. But we're also growing in a way that's elevating this event as the go-to event for connecting brands and buyers. Also elevating this event to be the launch pad for the travel goods space, new products, new opportunities, and what's happening. We are, again, like I said before, we're really trying to elevate this experience so that you have value, not only at the show, but throughout the show as well with the hub, with these webinars that we're doing, providing vlogs and other things that we're exploring on how we can continue to elevate the TGA and make it a really integral part of your business experience, government compliance, and all of these other things. So if you have ideas, reach out to me directly. Right now, between now and the show, I'm a little slow in responding, but I will get to you. So reach out to me directly or at info@travel-goods.org, and we'd be happy to discuss further on any ideas that you have. Great. Any other questions before we conclude here?
There's one more that came in. Will you be recording all of the speaker sessions to view later?
We will. Yeah. So they will be recorded and they will be posted on the hub. You will need to be a TGA member to access those. So if you haven't already registered on the hub, you can do so at no cost to access some of the information. And then other information you will need to be a TGA member to access. So those recorded events, all of them will be on the hub. And Kat, do you remember if they are for paying TGA members or just TGA members, non-paying TGA members? I guess they're not members. TGA access.
Yeah, we'll have to double check on that and then we'll send that out to everybody as well in the recap from this webinar.
Great. Yeah, and if you are a TGA member, you have all that access for free post-show. Okay, great questions. All right, if there are no more questions, I want to thank you, give you your time back. I think we have 10 minutes that I can give back. I know every minute counts between now and the show. So if you do have additional questions, feel free to reach out. I look forward to seeing you all at the show. Please come find me. I would love to meet you in person and figure out how we can help you individually or your business really elevate and grow throughout 2025 and beyond. So thanks again, everybody, and look forward to seeing you in 20 days.